Greetings, good evening everybody. They tell me it's getting cooler in South Africa. Let's hope everyone stays warm. Let's hope if we fire in a few winners, we'll make you even warmer. Firstly, thanks to Carl Stradon for coming on the podcast for the last Fairview meeting. 3 winners, well done sir. A couple of places, some nice insight from the Stradon yard, even the Zitzman yard. We had a good podcast, formed a few winners between us. And let's hope we can do the same today. It's a Coastal Boy, shortened version today. The main focus this week is the Hollywood Bets July Handicap. We'll try to keep it short and sweet today. Try to find a few winners, want to preview 3 races, and then I'll kick on. I'll do a little preview of the July Handicap, what I do fancy, and hopefully we can find a winner amongst the races I preview. We're back on the Fairview Poly, accorded to be turf. They've had rain. They've had to switch again. They really are struggling. We spoke about it. The track is underlaid with clay, and they really have struggled. They're battling to get back on the turf. It's been almost, I think, 6 weeks now, and they need to get back because their main meetings are coming up. The Gold Cup, I think it's this week. Let's hope it's a dry week, and we can get back on the turf. The turf must be lush with all the rain. But we're back on the Poly. And we kick off. I'm going to start in the 4th race. Is an open maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1400. The betting is 15 to 10 made to measure, 4 to 1 Burning Desire, 4 to 1 Fonte, 7 to 1 Sapphire Sun, 12 to 1 and better the rest. Straight into the race. It is my arrow for the day, Andrew's Arrows. It is number 1 made to measure, Richard Fourie on board for the Alan Creef yard. Drawn Stallgate number 8, had 1 run so far at the track on the Poly. It was over 1600 meters. She was running on that day behind Fleur de Ville. It was a little bit of money for her, so she was fancied. She brings solid, decent form from Gauteng, behind Winter Wedding, Utsaw and others. She just has to come forward slightly and learn from her first experience at the track, and she will be hard to beat. The horses that I think that might be there and thereabouts could try and trouble her, but I don't see anyone troubling her tomorrow. Number 2, Walk Right In, Carl, is in form. A stable also just had this horse for 2 runs so far. Decent run behind Truly Magical. Stepped it up to 1300 the next start, and then ran behind Rook Wheeler. Was badly drawn both starts. Better draw this time, drawn 3, would have a squeak. The second favourite is Burning Desire from the Nel yard. This was first time in Quebec, first time on the Poly, and from Cape Town. We saw a horse come from Cape Town yesterday, had mediocre form and win by 12 lengths in the first race for the Kelly Mitchley yard. This is for Jean Nel, ex-Lucinda Woodruff. The apprentice Makubo on board, claims 4, so I'll come down to 55. The 6 kilos is the big plus for this horse with the favourite, but I'd like to see her put her best foot forward. Of the others, Jean has another horse in the race, also joint favourite or second, third favourites. Fonte, good run so far, 2 decent runs, 3 decent runs on the Poly, never been unplaced, over 1200, a third and a second, then behind Rock Me Mana over course and distance last time. Going too late, was hanging. I see the Chad Little has decided to stay in Durban because he has a few rides on Durban July Day, so he hasn't made the journey down. Alden Weber gets the ride and must have a squeak in for trifectas and quartets. Another one that could come forward is number 10, Take Me to the Moon. Calvin Abib rides. Drawn Stallgate 5 for the Dean Smith yard. Only had 3 starts to date, 2 of them in Quebec and on the Poly. The 6th and the 5th looks to be improving, and at a big price this one. 12.40 to 1 that I think you might have to put into trifectas and quartets. We move on to race number 5. It is Tab 4 Racing, App, Fillies and Mares Handicap, over 1400 meters. The betting, Obsidian Star, 22 to 10. 7 to 2 on Sidium and Cheerio Baby. 7 to 1 Morphilia, 10 to 1 and better the rest. Please take note of the scratching. Change of surface. Number 9, Valare and Mambo. Don't start at the top of the betting. We're starting with The 6 Obsidian Star from the Sharon Cotton ride, Chase Mojane rides, a decent enough draw, 7 in the middle of the pack. This 2-year-old filly, I say 2-year-old, it's a juvenile, but only for another month, and then he'll be a 3-year-old. She'll be a 3-year-old. She has done nothing wrong. I think probably one of the better horses, better juveniles in the Sharon Cotton yard. 2 seconds, 2 wins. Last time out, got beaten by probably one of the better juveniles in Quebec, Marchland. She's carrying 58. That's a slight worry for me for this 2-year-old. And I think it is a wide open race. I think there's a lot of challenges. We'll see how good Obsidian Star is tomorrow, but I couldn't be taking 22 to 10. The joint second favourites are number 1 on Sidium, which I think will probably be the main danger. I found a horse in each way at value here that I'll get to eventually. Obsidian has done nothing wrong. Garish took it, claims 2.5, so this brings it down to 59. Has a good draw now, drawn 3. 1 over course and distance last start being Alex Miller. And I think she must have a cracking chance. I think she's probably the horse to beat, and hopefully I'll find the value in the race to beat her. We've got number 2, Cheerio Baby, is a 5-year-old mare by Duran Latina for the Allen Creefyard. Richard Ferry rides this one. Has been on the poly, I think 7 times, 2 wins and 4 places. The other time she ran 5th behind Palancar. She was running on late. She does run on late, so the extra 100 should suit. But there are some form lines that she's held. There's a run behind Lalanton, where she's held by some in the field. And I would like to see her putting her best foot forward before I could be going forward. She'll be there and thereabouts, as most of the career forces are, and she'll be flashing late on the outside. Your special from the Kelly Mitchell ride, Babu Sudu rode a winner for them on Wednesday. Draw 9, slight worry for me. And I'm not sure if the poly's a surface, probably the turf, where she's won. Let me mention Morphelia before I get to the horse that I fancy at a price. Justin Snaith trained, Carl Stradom. I believe this horse hasn't travelled. It's stayed in Port Elizabeth, in Quebec, stabled at the Tara Lang yard. I've been reliably informed. Drawn 8, 2 half-decent runs. A good run behind Detail Forecast on the debut on the poly. Then behind Kings again over 1200. This horse is slow away, will need a very strong pace to run on it. Then I'd like to see her. She will win a race in Quebec, but I'm not sure tomorrow's her chance. She's had 2 starts on the poly for a win. I mean, for a place in a 5th. So I'd like to see her put her best do forward. The one that I found at value and the one that I'll be going for is the John Vendover trade. I mean, teasing. The Tara Lang trained Mountain Eye, Wayne Grill on board, drawn Stallgate to solid form, comes from Gauteng, has had 2 nice educationals or 2 nice warm-up runs to date. She ran 7 lengths behind London on the turf, slow away that day, drifted alarmingly in the betting. Again, the next start, the smidgen of money was drawn quite bad. MK Kacheri was on board. She ran 6th, 7 lengths behind Wishes and Dreams. She was drawn 8 out of 10 that day. I think the 1400 is her trip. When I see she ran 3 lengths behind a horse called Choice and Order. Choice and Order is running in the July handicap. I know it's over 2,200 meters, but she's met some decent sorts. She beat a horse called Palace Dancer. Her Gauteng form was relatively strong behind Warning Sound. There's been winners. Even the Don form in Port Elizabeth has been quite strong. And at double-digit prices, I think a nice value play. And I'm going to be going for number 4 Mountain Hour each way. And I thought the main danger that the one that always beat in the race was on Sidium, but I've gone for a bit of value with number 4 Mountain High for the Tara Lang and Wayne Griller riding. We move on to, let me just check, race number 7. It's a cracking card in PE tomorrow. Quite difficult, and I think the exotic bets will pay a pretty penny as they did on Wednesday. Big 6 was a carryover. The bipod paid over 5,000, and there were a few rough results. So good luck to those who found the winners and caught a few of the exotics. Move on to race 7. It's a Racing 240 merit-rated 96 handicap over 1,200 meters. The betting is quite wide. Number 5, Black Egret, is 4-1. 4-1 Joker Man, 5-1 Stars in Heaven, 5-1 Roman Agent, 7-1 Champanel, 8-1 Guy Gibson, 8-1 Tentamore, 16-1 and better the rest. Scratch number 10, Sian the Conqueror from Duncan McKenzie, or another horse for change of surface. as you can see, a couple of the trainers have pulled out their horses due to going change. And there'll probably be more because they have till tomorrow morning to scratch if they don't want to run them on the surface. Top again. Favourite is number 5, joint favourite, Black Egret and Joker Man. Black Egret, I think the Hollywood Racing have 3 runners in this race. Black Egret's done nothing wrong since coming to Quebec. Yes, has had 3 starts in the poly. On debut on the poly, he ran 5th behind Mercantor. That was his first run on the poly. Then subsequently 2 cracking runs. One over course and distance twice. Beat Champanel, who's running today again, and Stars in Heaven, beat Stars in Heaven. Big money for this horse when he won on the day, when he won on his poly second start. Carl Stradom gets the ride today. Rode him to win last start. Was drawn 9 out of 9 last time. Again, cracks not the best of draws. Green draw number 9. He knows his horse. He's a jockey in form. It's a stable in form. Must have every chance. Joint favourites with him is the Greef trained runner, number 4, Joker Man, Richard Ferree on board. This horse is solid form. Last time out behind Forest Spy, just touched off, then ran 3 lengths to cruise control, has ran cracking range behind Anushka's World, but hasn't won since coming to Quebec. And even though has been there and thereabouts, has been costly to follow if you're a win punter. And again, I'd be looking on tomorrow. Will be there and thereabouts, but not one for me. Number 3, Roman Agent for the Kelly Mitchell yard, Baba Shadu rides. Draw very bad, drawn 11, and he's held on the last run behind Black Egret. I think he will have to put his best foot forward again. He did beat Anushka's World over the 1,200 meters. I think for me, Turf is his favourite. I don't think I'm not so sure on Polly. Even though he does race handy, but drawn from 11, he's going to take. It'll be a hard ride to get him up as he's slow away a lot of the time, and he meets a lot of trouble because he's so slow away, and he has to try, and he tries to go forward. So he's slow away, rushed, and then sometimes just doesn't get home. What else is in the betting? Champanel, Cliffy Millard, number 8, Garish Dukat rides, drawn 10 again, another one carrying 53, which puts him close by on the Black Egret run last start. Hasn't won for almost a year. Did win twice on the poly a year ago over 1,400. Again, if the pace is super hot, he would have a squeak, as he'll be running on very late. But the one I'm going for value is number 9, Stars in Heaven. Marco van Rensburg rides, drawn Storgate, number 2 for Cliffy Miller. Has had 2 starts. Another one that's been warming up in Quebec. Ran 3 lengths behind Tintamore. Now gets a weight swing. Tintamore's in the race as well. And then gets a weight swing with Black Egret over course and distance. 3rd run after a rest. This horse should be cherry ripe. And I called stables banging form. They had a winner on Wednesday. I can't see this horse missing a place. And I think we'll have a massive, massive run for our money. Stars in Heaven. Of the others, I'm going back to a couple of the others I haven't mentioned. We have Tintamore, who's held in the race. Solid enough form from Gauteng and in Quebec. But he's held quite easily on the last run. Calvin Abib now rides. Another one that for bigger trifectas and quartets. We have Daskut from the Luba Gilliard, another horse that doesn't know what distance to race. It's gone from 1,200 to 1,600, back to 1,200. Comes into the low weight. He's held on a couple of form lines. I'm only seeing one horse in this race, guys and girls. Number 9, Stars in Heaven. One of the Hollywood trio. And let's hope they've got the correct cap on this time. I mean, the number 1 colours, because I think this is that where it will be. For me, all about Stars in Heaven. And favourite, Black Egret, deserves to be up there. Wasn't sold on Joker Man and Tintamore for bigger trifectas and quartets, but all about number 9 for me, Stars in Heaven, Marco van Rensburg for the Cliffy Miller yard. Now we're going to do a bit of change of tack, guys and girls. We are going to, it is the big race week in South Africa, in Natal, and the big race on Saturday is the Hollywood Bets July Handicap. There must be hundreds of podcasts, hundreds of interviews with trainers and jockeys. I'll just tell you what I think. It is run over 2,200 meters. It is race number 7 on a Saturday. Hollywood Bets Gravel on the turf. The course will be probably packed. You probably won't get a ticket. It's one of the It's the richest race in South Africa now, and Hollywood have put their money up, and they have a couple of runners. Let's hope they'll be funking to get their money back. But it's one of the most prestigious races in the calendar. The Summer Cup in Gauteng and the Metropolitan Handicap in Kenilworth in January. Those are the three big races that everyone who owns horses in South Africa wants to win. The betting is as such at this stage. It's wide open, as one would expect. 11-2, note to self and wish list. 6-1 regulation. 7-1 Viva's Liberté. 10-1 Zeitz. 14-1 Native Ruler. 16-1 and better the rest. The two scratchings that have come out, which are number 3, Ultimate King, and number 4, Star Major, which was the original favourite, but came up with a temperature this week, so the stable decided to scratch. That means 2 of the reserve runners got in. Number 20, Curious Girl, for Mark de Kock gets in, and a horse that there was a lot of talk about who should have got in, but other horses got in before him, is number 19, now Choice Anada, who's a 16-1 shot for a small trainer, Erica Verdenese, and the lady jockey, Rachel Vineca rides. Keep it short and sweet. My horses in the race, my first pick for the race is a lightly raced number 9, Viva's Liberté. Has only had 8 starts, never missed a place, 2 wins, 6 places, always there and thereabouts. Got beaten by Star Major in the Daily News, went to the front that day, just didn't get home that day. I think will be probably ridden more conservatively, comes into the race with a nice prep. Stable are very, very bullish. They have had won this race before. They won it with Trademark. That was a course record. Champion jockey Craig Zaki rides. Number 9, draw 9. Let's hope doesn't run 9th. That would be my first pick. Of the others, do like Wish List, I think is going for 5 in a row. Andrew Fortune rides for the Justin Snaith yard. He has, Justin Snaith, let me just get, I think he has 4 or 5 runners in the race. 1, 2, 3, 5 runners in the race. Andrew Fortune has been telling everyone this is his July handicap. He's very, very confident. And another horse with 54.5. He must have a big chance. I mean, he's run behind Minogue. He came from Wolfton that day. He's 2 from 2 at Greyville. And must have every chance. A couple of the outsiders that I give a squeak to. Number 12, Zeitz. Much as it was a big price at the beginning of the week, there has been money. Number 12, again, drawn 12. Woodley on board. Did disappoint over 2,000 metres at Kenilworth, but seems to have come forward from there. And his run, beating Isoleucci, looked like he was dropped in at the 200, and he won quite convincingly. Stable with this 4-year-old Grey Gelding by Vercingetorix. I think will be a runner, one that I've got in my trifectas and quartets, and I'm looking forward to a big run from Zeitz. Number 13, Mocha Blend. Like the way this horse is prepped, 1,600 to 1,400. It is for a trainer that doesn't have too many horses. Number 13, drawn 13. Jockey Godden on board. I just like the way this horse is prepped, and I think this has been his aim all along at the July handicap. Expecting a big run at a massive price, and one that I've got in my trifectas and quartets. As I put up on for today, my each way bet in the race will be Viva's Liberté, and there's a massive quartet carryover. The pool probably be in excess of 5 million. So if you do play quartets, my quartet is a box 2, 7, 9, 12, 13, 17. And I'll just read you the horses, so you know who they are. 2 is regulation. Wish List, number 7. 9, Viva's Liberté, Blend, and number 17, King Pelez. Very bad draw. Another one who's been aimed at this race. Has a visiting jockey from Australia, Chance Schofield, on board. As has number 2, Regulation, Zach Lloyd, son of Jeff Lloyd, who everyone knows. For me, that is my trifecta. My quartet, my box quartet, costs 360 Rand, and that's my play. Viva's Liberté each way. Box 6 horses, which cost 360 Rand in the quartet. And let's hope we can get a nice big dividend and catch it. To everyone racing in Kubasa tomorrow, you have a great day. Everyone going to the July handicap, have a wonderful day. Stay safe, be lucky, and make some pound.